Warwickshire's 2026 Pride Festival will be taking place here in Leamington this Saturday, the 22nd of August. Now, the Pride movement has been on a journey for over 50 years, born out of the Stonewall riots in New York back in June 1969, which in turn led to the first Pride parade a year later in 1970. Pride has encompassed acts of protest, of defiance, of celebration, and really a constant campaign for civil rights for LGBTQ people. And so here is Dan Browne, who chairs Warwickshire Pride, to tell us about what's happening in Leamington and beyond. Welcome to Life in Lem, Dan.
Hello, good to see you.
Dan, your role is a bit of a mad mix, right? You're part event organiser, part counsellor, part campaigner, part ninja. I mean, what do you like best about being the chair of Warwickshire Pride?
Yeah, I wear many hats in this role and kind of do a bit of everything. But I think that's probably one of the things that I like most, actually, the variety of different things that I do. You know, it's not the same task day after day or week after week. I get to, support the community directly. I get to deal with people calling our helpline or email. I get to do some of the social media stuff. I get to do a lot of stuff with volunteers. So it's that variety that I really like.
And I guess, sometimes it must feel about 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or even 1 step forward and 2 steps back sometimes. Looking back over this year, are there causes for optimism, do you think?
I'm always somewhat optimistic, and I'm always hopeful that better days are going to come. We're in tricky times at the moment, but do you know what? The community is strong, the community is resilient, and we're still going to show up and have pride.
So you're probably the most familiar face for Warwickshire Pride, but I guess there's quite a team and a structure behind us. Do you want to just give us a sense of how Warwickshire Pride runs?
Yeah, absolutely. People think that it is just me and that I do absolutely everything. And although I do a lot, that's not the case. And there's a team of trustees that are all equally responsible for running the charity and making sure it operates legally and so on. But then we've got a team of about 50 volunteers that help with all of our support services. We've got 3 paid youth workers that run our youth service. There's a very large team behind the scenes.
So 50 volunteers, 3 paid workers as well. Quite an organisation. If someone's listening and go, I'd really quite like to help out, are there opportunities for people to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always looking for the volunteers, for our youth groups, for our parents group, for our transport, whatever it may be. So if they go to our website, we've got a page on there. People can apply to volunteer anytime.
So on then to this year's festival. Just remind us of the date and the times first.
It is on Saturday the 22nd of August, 11 until 6.
Saturday 22nd, so that's this coming Saturday when folk are listening to this, 11 till 6. And for you, are there any particular highlights that you're especially looking forward to?
Yeah, for me, the march I look forward to, particularly as that is how Pride started, with a march, when the Pride movement began. So I think that was a really good addition to our festival, people being able to walk through Leamington Town Centre to show their pride, show their defiance, and to show up for each other as a community as well. I think down at the festival, something that I really like about it and that people say they like is how chilled out it feels, how there's a real family-friendly atmosphere, how everyone really is welcome, and I quite like that.
And I mean, people can go on the website and see everything that's going on at the festival. But for you, is there anything that you're particularly excited about that's happening at the festival itself?
The festival itself, do you know what? I'm a big, I remember the 90s, and I'm big into kind of dance music, house music. And if anyone remembers the 90s, we've got Live in Joy headlining. And for me, I'm very excited about that this year.
And in terms of the Pride event itself, you say it's family friendly. Are there things that kids can be doing there as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a very kid-friendly Pride and a very dog-friendly Pride. So we've got around about 125 stalls, I think, this year. A lot of them are aimed at young people and families. We've got fairground rides for children. We've got a big inflatable slide coming along. We've got a youth tent for teenagers in particular. And then for dog parents, we've got a dog show on the day. We've got several dog stalls. The bandstand is going to be open for dog owners to sit down, treats for the dogs, water, that kind of stuff. So yeah, everyone's welcome.
There'll be a few dogs in rainbow cravats, I guess, on the day. No pressure to dress your dog up, but I mean, there's the opportunity, isn't there? So speaking of cravats, flags and lights, if I can use the F word, Dan, I mean, flags have been quite an issue really over the last year or so. What is it that makes them so contentious, do you think?
To be honest, I don't think they are, and people need to get a grip, is my honest opinion. It's wild to me that the rainbow colours on a flag or painted on the road or whatever it may be could be so upsetting and so triggering, when actually what the rainbow flag represents is inclusion, celebrating difference, celebrating people for who they are, and I think that is a wonderful thing.
Do you think these things are a diversion from the work you're doing, or do they actually promote a discussion about inclusion?
I think in a way they're doing us a favour, because first of all they're highlighting why we have pride, and our goal is to no longer need to exist. And if people didn't take such offence at the flag and piped down and left us alone, then actually we wouldn't have a pride, and we wouldn't need to come here and be proud, and we wouldn't need to put the flags up, and then everyone would be happy. It's not nice, it can be quite difficult to deal with all the kind of hate that comes, but ultimately it strengthens us and unites the community.
Do you think overall it's been a good year, looking back since the last year's Pride? Do you think it's been a good year for Warwickshire Pride overall?
I do think it's been a good year. For the charity, we've continued to grow and expand and bring in the funding we need, recruit more volunteers and so on. But I think it's been really good for the community as well, because the climate that we're living in has just really brought people together. And the kind of peer support and community that we've got here, particularly in Leamington, is really fantastic at the moment.
And I'm sure you'll cringe a little bit when I ask you, but I know you've had a couple of recognitions as well over this last year, which I'm sure is about you, but it's also about the work of the charity overall. Do you want to just share, if you can, without blushing, what you've been recognised for this year?
Yeah, I do cringe about this stuff quite a lot. So this year, recently there was the Warwickshire Changemakers Award for services to the LGBT community, and earlier this year there was a Gagio Award for Volunteer of the Year, and it's nice to be recognised. It's nice that it shines a spotlight on what is going on here in Leamington and across Warwickshire, but I always try and highlight the team that sits behind me, because as I said earlier, people think it is just me, and it's not. There's a whole team. With things like the Warwickshire Changemakers Award, which is, there were 100 people that were awarded there from all different backgrounds, communities, and all doing different fantastic things in the community. And I think for something LGBTQ+ to be included in that is a wonderful thing, and I think it's a very positive message to get out there.
So obviously your immediate priority is just getting the festival successfully done, but I mean, looking forward beyond that, have you got any top priorities for the coming year that you'd like to share?
Sleep is the number one. Once the festival's done, I'll probably sleep for about 20 hours or something. But then it's becoming more about our year-round services. And something that I'm happy to tell you, I will be leaving Warwickshire Pride. I've made that decision recently to stand down and just, after 15 years, take a bit of time for myself and let some new people take over. So once the festival's done, we're going to start recruiting for a new chair, and in the meantime, business as usual.
Gracious, well that is news. I wasn't expecting you to say that, Dan, I have to say, but thank you so much for the 15 years of devotion you've given to this cause. And if people are listening and they go, maybe I don't have time to volunteer to do things regularly, but if they just want to help the cause of pride and progress in the area generally, what are the things that anyone can be doing in their day-to-day life?
So volunteering is great, and you can volunteer for as long or as little time as you want. We're happy to take any amount of time that people can give, but beyond that, it's helping with fundraising. It could be sharing our posts on social media. There's so many little things that can be done, and little things really do make a difference.
And I guess we all have the opportunity to do the right thing or the wrong thing on a day-to-day basis. Challenge prejudice when we see it, or endorse it by indifference in a way.
We talk in our LGBTQ plus communities about allyship and what being a good ally is, and I'm very keen that allies are visible and vocal. So that is speaking out when there's injustice or when there's discrimination. It is showing up at a Pride event and making it very clear that you are an ally and this is what you stand for.
Well, Dan, it just remains really to wish you all the very best for a fabulous Pride event this year, and to thank you for the 15 years of service. You'd be a really tough act to follow, I'm sure, in the work you've been doing. But all the very best to whoever does succeed you. It's a bit like a dog isn't just for Christmas. It's not just for Pride parades. It's a year-round thing, and that's a responsibility that we all have, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Pride is all year round. Pride is every day, and it's everywhere.
Brilliant. So just to remind you, the time and the place of the festival, it's this coming Saturday, the 22nd of August, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. Hopefully see you there. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.